Hello, I'm Frances from Winstep Homestead, and I would like to demonstrate to you how to make Salsa Verde with green tomatoes. Now, I have left the very last in my garden of some Craig's Atomic Grape tomatoes from Baker Creek. Now, I was a little late getting them in. I only had a few that ripened, and most of them are still green. And the weather changed before I had enough time for them to turn and ripen. So I had a lot of leftovers, and usually with the cherry tomatoes, I don't do a lot with them because they're small and don't want to be doing a lot of cutting and whatnot with all these little tiny fruits. But the Craig's Atomic Grape tomatoes were pretty good size, and there were just so many of them, and I felt bad that I wasn't able to use them much because the weather changed before they could ripen. So I decided to go ahead and pick them all, and we're going to make a Salsa Verde with these green tomatoes. Now, I also have some jalapenos out of my garden. All of these we're going to roast in the oven. The roasting gives it a wonderful flavor. Now, some of these are purple, and so you think, oh no, we're going to have purple Salsa Verde. That's not Salsa Verde. Salsa Verde is green. But when they're cooked, you can see that they all just go green, and so it won't change the color, and we don't have to rename Salsa Verde. This is the first pan that I roasted of the tomatoes. So we had 2 full pans of the green tomatoes that we'll be roasting. And then we have several of the jalapenos to roast along with it. So they're going to go into a 400-degree oven for 45 minutes. Now, once you get all of them roasted for about 45 minutes, we can go ahead and put it all together. What we have here is about 16 cups of green tomatoes. And so we're doing 1 jalapeno per cup. So we have 16 jalapenos here. Now, that's pretty spicy, so it's all relative. So whatever amount you prefer. If you don't like it that spicy, you can do less. But we have 16 jalapenos and 16 cups of green tomatoes. You can also roast the onions and the garlic in the oven with the green tomatoes and the jalapeno, or you can grill them on the stove. So what we have here is we have 1 large onion and 1 whole bulb of garlic that we've divided the cloves up and are roasting them all separately. So once you get the onions and garlic roasted like this, where you get a good char on most of the sides of the onion, then they're ready to put all together, and we're going to blend it all. We'll put it in batches in the hopper of the blender, and there's a lot of liquid that's expelled from the green tomatoes as they've sat and cooled down, and so there should be enough liquid, but if we need, we can add a little bit of water to the hopper so that it blends well. Now we're going to put it in the blender and blend it up. So I'm just taking some of a little bit of everything in the hopper. So I'm going to get a little bit of this juice to get it started. So the green tomatoes have cooled down to some degree, so it's not steamy hot. But if it was really hot, you would definitely want to hold the lid on, and you would definitely want a towel. But these have cooled down quite a bit, so it's not going to be that issue. But I will start it on low and then work my way up and get it to, it depends how you like your salsa. Some people like it real chunky, some people like it real smooth. I like a smoother salsa, so I'm going to be blending it up pretty smooth. So now we've got a nice smooth consistency, and we didn't need to add any more water. We used the liquid from the green tomatoes. It's blended up nice and smooth. If you can see that nice smooth texture. Now we also want to add some fresh oregano. I do happen to have fresh oregano growing in the garden. You can use some dry if you don't have the fresh, but fortunately we have the fresh. So now we'll transfer this into a pot and continue blending. Now we add the oregano. We put in the fresh oregano and fresh cilantro. And we're going to add a little bit of water to get a nice smooth blend. Okay, so now we just check for salt and consistency, texture. Make sure everything's incorporated well. So we've added another cup of water, and we're going to add 2 tablespoons of salt for this amount of sauce. Oh, that's good. It's spicy. Like I said, if you do 1 jalapeno per cup of green tomatoes, you're going to get a spicy one. So you could half that if you don't like the spice. So it is all done and put together. And as you can see, the consistency, it's kind of the consistency of, what would you call that? Oh, ketchup? Oatmeal? That's ketchup maybe, huh? It's kind of the consistency of ketchup, you know. It's not runny, but it's not so thick that it stays on the spoon. It will run off the spoon. So now all we do is bring it back to heat so that we can put it in our jars. Okay, so we've got them all bottled up. We ended up with just over 16 cups. Which was the same as the amount of tomatoes we had, plus the jalapenos and onions and garlic. This 1 quart will be perfect for when we do chili verde. Brown some pork with some onion and I like a little potato, and put it in a crock pot with salsa verde, and you have a delicious meal. Anyway, this is a beautiful batch. Very pleased with it. I hope this was helpful for you. Thank you for joining me. I'm very grateful for you. Until we meet again.